Hey everybody, welcome back to the One Number YouTube channel. Thanks for checking in again. I'm Eric Parker, and today I'm going to be demonstrating how to create a custom calendar for yourself that you can integrate with your data source so that if you need to do any sort of specialized reporting around a non-standard fiscal year, academic year, reporting periods, maybe you're a restaurant chain, whatever it might be, we're going to look at how you can quickly and hopefully easily create a custom calendar that you can just join into your data set so that you can do period comparisons, whether that's semester 1 2020 to semester 1 2019, or whether that's saying where were we at in the same business day of fiscal year 22 compared to fiscal year 21. That's what we're going to be tackling. So the first thing that I want to show is that if you're never going to be doing two date comparisons, meaning like, hey, today is the 13th day of this period, how did that compare to the 13th day of this other custom period? You might be able to do something pretty simple and just create what I'm going to call a simplified calendar, which is to say that you could just set some start and some end dates for different periods, quarters, periods, semesters, and then just say, okay, if the date falls between this start date and this end date, then it's part of 2021 Q1, for example. The scenarios we're going to be looking at, I'm going to be diving into something a little bit more complicated than that, but let me just show you, if you did choose to do something like this that I've just shown, how you would integrate that into your Tableau data source. Okay, so what I would do, I've just got a data set here demonstrating a bunch of transactions from calendar year 2021. So what I'm going to do is, let me think if I've saved that recently actually. Let me go ahead and just do a quick save here. And then let me add this 2021 calendar as an additional connection. So give me just a second here. Okay. So I'll pull that in there. Simplified calendar. So what I would do to get this to integrate is I'm going to drag and drop this next to orders. And I would say something like this: order date. I hope I nailed this on the first try because I sometimes get a little bit confused. So order date is going to be, I will say, greater than or equal to the start date, and order date is less than or equal to the end date. And if I set that up right, we'll check this quickly here. So for let's do, whatever, that should work. 4/15/21, based on our simplified calendar, 4/15/21 should fall in 2021 Q2. So I scroll to the right a bit and I will see that perfect. This lined up with business year 21 Q2. So that's kind of the simplified way of connecting a calendar, where you're just simply identifying the start and the end dates of your periods. So let me go ahead and zoom in on that, touch on that one more time. So your date field needs to be greater than or equal to the start date, and it must be less than or equal to the end date. All right, so the main reason I came here is to show you a process that I kind of made up on the fly as I was creating a business date calendar for the year 2021. So let me just sort of walk you through the steps here. So let's say I would like to be able to say, hey, how did this business day of 2021 compare to this business day of 2020? So business day meaning like weekends don't count, holidays don't count, etc. So what I'm going to do is flip over to this 2021 calendar worksheet, and this basically has nothing on it yet, just a column called date, and then it just goes 1/1, 1/2, 1/3 all the way through 12/31. So I need to come up with a few different calculations that are going to help me say, okay, like 1/1, for example, is a holiday. So that doesn't count as a business day. 1/2, maybe it does. I can't remember what day of the week that is. So let's start with this. I'm going to go ahead and just do a weekday calculation. I've actually written these in a separate notepad, and I'll provide these in the description and in a blog post so that you have these to reference if you want to do something similar. So the weekday calculation is just equals weekday of A2, A3, and so on. Okay. So go ahead and just get that to go all the way down. So Turns out it looks like January 1st would have been, what, the 6th day of the week is a Friday, I think. So 1-2 is a Saturday, 1-3 is a Sunday, and so on. So the next thing I need to do is just say, okay, just based on whether or not it's a weekend date, should this day count as a business day for 2021? Okay, so here's what my next calculation looks like. I will say if the value is less than 7, so not Sunday, and less than 7, not Saturday, and greater than 1, not Sunday, then give me a 1, otherwise give me a 0. Okay, so business weekday. Go ahead and put that in here. Run that down. So the 6th day of the week gets counted because that's a Friday. 7th doesn't because that's a Saturday. You can tell I'm on top of my game today. The 3rd doesn't get counted because that's a Sunday. And now we're back to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. Now, one of our problems is that 1/1/21, it really shouldn't count because it's a holiday, but it just got auto-counted because it happened to be a weekday. So now I need to set up some special rules so that holidays are not counted as business day of the years. Okay, so actually what I've done is I've actually got a different tab called 2021 holidays. And I've actually just written out what those holidays are. So you can see things like January 1st, New Year's Day, MLK, President's Day, Memorial Day. You can put whatever holidays you want. You know, maybe you have more than this, maybe you have less, totally up to you. So my next function, it's just gonna be called holiday. Oops, put that somewhere else. And excuse my dog, probably barking at the garbage truck. Very exciting right now. All right, so holiday is gonna look like this. It's kind of a lengthy calculation, so maybe just let me explain it before I put it into Excel, and then we'll see what it looks like. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna say match to the list of characters in the A column from the 2021 holidays worksheet. So if you find a match, then that's not gonna be an error. But if there is an error, then it will be false. Otherwise, it'll be true. Okay, so I know it's a little bit wacky. I had to kind of do a couple iterations of this to get it just right. But let me just copy and paste it over there so you can see how this works. Okay, so you can see 1/1/21 came back as true. Why is that? Well, because we didn't get an error because 1/1/21 did find a match in the holiday tab. However, I dragged this down one. How about A3? Did that find a match? No, it did not. So that came back as false. So let me go ahead and drag this down a little ways, and you'll see that I find another true on MLK Day, and you keep going, and eventually you'll see some trues for 4th of July and some of that. Okay, so just a couple steps away now, pretty close. So then now what I need to do is sort of consolidate columns C and column D. So I could say, okay, is this a business day or not? You know, first of all, use the holiday thing. And if holiday is true, then it should not be a business day. Otherwise, use the value from the business weekday column. Okay, so 1/1 comes back as 0 because D2 was equal to true. So give me a 0, otherwise give me C2. Carry this down. So the Saturday and the Sunday values didn't get counted, and now we're off to the races Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. So now my last thing is to get business day of year, which is just gonna be a running sum of these values, right? So what does this look like? You just need to anchor it to the start point of the cell being E2 with the little dollar sign. So this first one just says, okay, what's the sum of E2? Well, it's just its own value. So now this one is, did it carry it? Oh, maybe I need to do this. Give me 1 second. Let me just write this one from scratch. I think it might be easier. Okay, and then I need to the dollar sign in there to anchor. Okay, so now that I've done that, hopefully I can just run this down. It didn't carry super well. Hold on one second. It didn't seem to like that. Let me see if I can carry it like this. Yeah, E2 to E3, E3 to E4. Okay. Perfect, there we go. So now you can see that what's going on is it says, okay, 0, 0, 0. Hey, here's the first business day of the year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're stuck on 5. 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, because there's a weekend and a holiday and all that. So this is cool, right? Like what it's gonna do is by the end of the year, let me get my little recording icon out of the way. By the end of the year here, if I can scroll down, you know, I'll see that like 12/31/21, maybe I should have put that as a holiday or something. Oh, actually, I think it does say it's a holiday. So that is just the 251st business day of the year. And if you haven't done this before in Excel, all that I was doing was once you have a formula that you like, you can just double click on the little icon in the bottom right corner of that cell and it will carry it down. In this case, I needed to select 2 cells and then do that. So it picked up on the pattern of E2 to E3, E2 to E4. So the next one should be E2 to E5. So if you have questions about that, feel free to kind of drop those in the comments and we can go over that. Okay. So now what I want to do is I don't want this to have to be so dependent on these columns, because if I try and copy and paste this to another worksheet right now, it's going to be all messed up. Like, hey, what the heck? We were just referring to column C. Where did that thing go? Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste column F, hit the little control drop down and select this here, which says paste values. So now instead of pasting the formulas, it's just pasting those numbers straight up. So now what I can do is I'll just have a new sheet here and I'll call this 2021 Business Calendar Final. And all I need to do is just copy and paste column A, which is just my dates of the year. Go back to 2021 calendar and then copy and paste that business day of year, which is the copied version I created. Okay, so let me go ahead and save this. And now to look at how we integrate that into Tableau, let me think about how I want to do this. Maybe I'll just do this as a separate connection. So this first connection, this will be Simplified Calendar connection. So let's do a brand new data source. So let me go ahead and get my 2021 transactions again. Perfect. Drag my orders in here. Add a selection, or add a connection, I should say, to 2021 business day calendar. Oh, I need to save it again. Hold on. So if I can refresh and get that calendar final to show up here. There we go, 2021 business day calendar final. And then I'll go ahead and initiate my join, and it's a little bit simpler this time. All I need to do is just say that order date is equal to date. So now you can just kind of pick any random day of the year. So, okay, if the order date is October 19th, that's the 202nd business day of the year, right? Which is pretty interesting. Now that's not the 202nd calendar day of the year, because this would just be just about 2 months shy of the full year. So this would be somewhere around the 300th day of the year, but it's only the 202nd business day of the year. Cool. So hopefully that's a helpful rundown just to be able to see some different formulas in Excel that you can use to quickly create these business day calendars. I was doing it by hand, like day 1, day 2, day 3. And I was like, no way, I cannot do this forever. There's got to be an easier way. So if you have something specific, everybody's calendars for their workplaces are a little different. Feel free to shout if this method doesn't work for you, and we can see if we can come up for something that will. So thanks again for tagging along for this, and we'll look forward to catching you on another one soon.